And welcome to this, the American Freedom Alliance's 13th Heroes of Conscience Awards dinner. I'm Dr. Karen Siegemund, and it's my honor and privilege to be the president of this remarkable organization. Freedom, it's why we're here. In the past 2 years, we've been seeing increasing strides made towards freedom, not just here, under President Trump, but globally as well, with Brexit, Salvini, Orban, Bolsonaro in Brazil, and look what's happening right now in Hong Kong. It's breathtaking, the love, the embracing, the striving and fighting for freedom all around the world. But commensurate with the rise, we're seeing a sort of variation on Newton's third law, played out in an arena where we don't usually see it. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The more strides we make in the name of freedom, of democracy, of empowering individuals, and releasing us from various bonds created by leftist policies, the stronger we get, the more rabid and violent the left is becoming to ensure that freedom doesn't win, that fascism does. Not just rabid and violent, as with what we just saw in Antifa in Portland most recently, where, by the way, our friend Sabo was, but also subversive, overt, as with banning from social media, covert, as with manipulating Google, and just plain sort of underhanded, as they shut us out of civic space, as they just did with me. And they're clearly getting increasingly desperate, unhinged even, as we ramp up to the 2020 election. AFA's entire mission is to protect Western civilization from several threats. And while we may not necessarily see this, such a seemingly innocuous stance as political, incredibly it is. Conservatives see the power, the value, the potential benefit that accrues to all of us in the underlying tenets of Western civilization. The right sees it as, the left sees it as evil, as bigoted, as white supremacy, as, well, you know all of this. Why? Because prosperity is evil, most especially because global governance is the goal, and any impediment to that is a bad thing. And that's us, the impediment. Tonight's 13th Annual Heroes of Conscience dinner honors 3 individuals who have, one way or another, stood up for freedom against tyranny and are waging battle against those forces that are seeking to undermine the greatness of this nation. Each of us has our own story and our own battlefield, but each of us, and make no mistake, each of us is a fighter for what we believe in, and each of us, I promise you this, isn't engaged for our own personal benefit, right? But each of us stands up for all of us, for all whose rights are infringed, who lost our jobs, who are being misled, exploited, victimized for political gain. We each are fighters, and we each represent countless others whose stories you don't hear, but we hear. They're out there. 2 years ago, we created our American Freedom Award to honor Phil Haney for his work in counterterrorism, and we're delighted he's here tonight. Phil? Last year, we honored Trevor Loudon with the award. I'm so glad he's also here tonight. Tonight, we're honoring good friend to the American Freedom Alliance, Bill Becker, with the American Freedom Award for his passionate and dedicated fight in the legal arena. So great. Also tonight, we're honoring Walkaway founder Brandon Straka with an award we created just for him, the Game Changer Award, and we think the name says it all. And finally, and this is just, it's been a weird thing, I gotta tell you, we're honoring me. You'll hear the story, most of you know the story. But when the board voted to honor me, I first said no. But it's not about me. Well, a little bit's about me. But the reason I agreed was that I'm a representative of so many to whom this has happened, to so many who have been shut out of civic space, and to shine a light on how conservatives are truly, really and truly under attack in every arena. Okay, I said, honor me. So here we are. Three of us, right? Three of us fighting against that equal and opposite force against us, but each committed to helping preserve all that makes this nation great. I want to point out a couple things before we really kick this off. AFA's in the crosshairs of the left's anti-freedom, anti-free speech sites. The Hilton has gotten dozens and dozens and dozens of calls from what seems to be an SPLC-organized protesters claiming that we're evil. Look around. You see evil here? I see freedom-loving people who do nothing but care about each of us, and I also see security. And I want to thank the Hilton for not succumbing to a lot of pressure. Really. To the LAPD and to the security that we had to hire to keep us safe from violence when we're the haters. Who's hiring protection? We don't want our dinner, our own free speech, suppressed. It's crazy, sick, and frightening, but thank you to the Hilton. And by the way, for our October conference that you'll hear more about, they're also getting calls demanding they cancel us, but they won't. Secondly, on a completely different note, take a look at the centerpieces. What do you see? Straws! Do we live in crazy land or what? Right? Straws, a symbol of freedom, but don't take my straws. It's nuts. So, it's really a symbol of how deep into the minutia of our lives they want to go for control. And we'll stand up wherever they take it. So take a straw, use it in good health. If you're here, it's my guess you realize exactly how serious all of this is. We laugh, but it's serious. So thank you for coming. Thank you for all what you do. I want to take a moment quickly to recognize some of our AFA fellows. I'll get back to you with others, but first, John Hancock, who's also our Chief Financial Officer. Guy Millière, who just, expat from France, living in Las Vegas, who just came into town. Howard Hyde, President of the Southern California Republican Women and Men. You can do the acronym on your own. And Trevor Loudon. Freedom, it's why we're here. And I know I say this every year, but every year I mean it. As President Reagan said, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, handed on for them to do the same. We're here, and I know you are too, to engage in that fight, to do what we can to protect it for our children and our children's children. Thank you. Really. And really from the bottom of my heart, thank you.